Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be telling you why organic growth will always outperform paid promos on OnlyFans. So let's get into it. So why organic growth will always outperform paid promos on OnlyFans? Why warm leads always win. So why organic fans convert at a higher rate. So when someone discovers you through a shout out or a paid promo, their first contact with you is transactional. They're scrolling, see your image, feel a flicker of curiosity, and click without any context. So they don't know who you are. They don't trust you, and they have no emotional reason to stay after they subscribe. These are what marketers call cold leads. And cold leads are cheap to acquire but expensive to retain because there's no foundation underneath the purchase. Unqualified leads may or may not have engaged with your brand and stops engaging and not ready to buy. So organic fans are the opposite. They don't just appear out of nowhere. They discover you through moments of connection, such as, for example, TikTok. They may laugh at your TikTok. Maybe they've seen your Instagram stories for weeks or seen your Instagram reels. Maybe they've even watched a try and haul on your YouTube channel and they've loved your energy. And the key thing is, whatever the entry point is, the key is they chose to engage. So that choice activates a powerful psychological mechanism called the IKEA effect, where people value something more when they feel they discovered or built it themselves. It creates an emotional stake in the relationship. Now layer dopamine on top of that. So every time a viewer sees and enjoys your content, their brain rewards them with a little hit of dopamine, the same neurochemical tied to pleasure, right? Motivation and attachment. So over time, their brain begins associating your content with that feel-good hit. So by the time they finally click your OF link, their decision isn't based on curiosity, it's based on emotionally anchored to a reward loop. So think of your own behavior when you stumble upon a creator and binge their content. That moment feels personal, right? You're not subscribing because someone shouted them out. You're subscribing because you like them. That's why organic fans are often worth 10 to 20x more than a random promo sub. They're emotionally invested from day one, and that's the key difference to a cold lead. Trust is the currency of the creator economy. Without it, subscribers churn quickly, but with it, they stick around for months or even years. And the most effective way to build trust isn't through flashy promos, it's through organic, repeated exposure. Organic, repeated exposure equals trust. And it builds that trust. So on platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, people don't just see your sexy content. They see your humor, your lifestyle, your energy, and your vibe. And over time, this repeated exposure taps into something called the mere exposure effect, which is a psychological phenomenon where people start to like things simply because they see them often. Even if they don't engage every time, your consistent presence normalizes you in their brain. But it doesn't stop when it gets familiar. So long-term exposure creates parasocial bonds, right? So one-sided emotional relationships where a fan begins to feel like they know you personally. They might never have even spoken to you, but your face and your voice and your stories have become part of their daily routine. And the brain doesn't fully differentiate between a real friend and a parasocial figure. It releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, as if it were a real social contact. And that's where you build relationships with subscribers and they become whales, VIPs, and you build that relationship because oxytocin gets released. Meanwhile, the dopamine keeps the loop alive. So each time your video pops up, their brain anticipates a reward. So this creates a neurological feedback loop. So they see your content, they feel good, they feel connected, and they want more, so they keep coming back. So by the time someone like this subscribes to your OnlyFans, they're already neurologically primed to trust you compared to that cold promo subscriber who saw you once on a shout out page. There's no trust there, there's no emotional groundwork, it's just a fleeting impulse. So for example, right, Someone who has watched your YouTube hauls for 6 months and follows your stories already sees themselves as a long-term supporter, right? And when they finally subscribe, it's just not a random click to them. It's a natural next step in a relationship they already feel invested in. And that is so key to remember and to know. High value fans come from organic traffic, and that is so key. They don't come from paid shout outs, they come from organic traffic. So when you rely on paid shout outs or promo pages, most of the subscribers you attract are short-term tourists. They pop in out of curiosity, buy a cheap pay-per-view and cancel within a week or two. Their decision to subscribe wasn't thoughtful, it was reactive. And reactive buyers don't build stable income. Organic subscribers, on the other hand, are long-term residents. They've been part of your ecosystem long before they ever even opened their wallet, right? They've already spent time, which is actually more valuable than money. They've been watching, following, or interacting with your content. And what this does, this taps into the commitment consistency principle. Once people invest time or effort into something, they subconsciously want to stay consistent with that investment. Paying for your OnlyFans doesn't feel like a random purchase. It feels like a logical extension of what they're already doing. There's also the justification effect as well. Once someone has spent months watching your content for free, subscribing feels like proving to themselves that their attention wasn't wasted. Their brain wants to believe, I didn't just spend all that time for nothing. This creator is worth it. That belief makes them spend more, they stay longer and value the relationship more deeply. Promo fan, right? Subscribes for $10. Churns in a week, the total value is $10. But then you've got your organic fan. You've got subscribers for $15, they stay for 4 months, that's $60, buys 3 pay-per-views, $60, and then tips $100. Because they feel close to you, the total value is $220 plus. And don't ever underestimate the network effect also. Happy organic fans become unpaid ambassadors. They share your posts, comment publicly, and bring in new followers, something paid traffic will almost never do. And this brings on to organic content snowballs, paid traffic evaporates, right? So what I mean when I say that is, one of the biggest hidden advantages of organic growth is compounding, right? So paid promos are like striking a match. They burn bright and fast, then they disappear. So a TikTok shout out or a promo post might give you 24 hours of traffic and then nothing back to zero. And that's what is the key thing, and that's what the massive difference between promo subscriber and an organic subscriber. So organic content is different because when you post a TikTok, it can resurface weeks later and bring you back new subscribers. A well-optimized YouTube video can also rank in search and funnel people to your OnlyFans for months or even years. So Instagram Reels can quietly build your reach long after posting. Each piece of organic content is like a seed that keeps growing over time. So think of it like this, right? Paid promos equals cut flowers. They look nice for a day, then they wilt. But organic content is like a garden. You water it once and it keeps feeding you. And the best part is you can stack content. 1 TikTok equals good. 100 TikToks over time equals a traffic machine that never sleeps. This also builds social proof. So when a fan sees you on multiple platforms, their brain assumes they must be popular, trustworthy, and worth following, because social proof is one of the strongest persuasion triggers in marketing. People trust what other people are already paying attention to. So organic creates stability. Paid creates fragile. And I'm going to go deep into what that means. So if your entire traffic strategy relies on paid promos, your business is basically built on sand. A single flop, shadow ban, or scam that can kill your cash flow overnight. That's not a business. That's literally gambling. But organic growth builds something you own. Fans who discover you through your content are attached to you, not to a random shout-out page. They follow you across platforms, watch your updates, and stay subscribed because they care about you, not because they were tricked by promo. When a fan feels emotionally invested, unsubscribing isn't just about saving $15. It feels like losing access to someone important in their daily life. It's like losing a relationship, like losing their girlfriend, for example, right? That's why organic subscribers stay longer, tip more, and are less sensitive to price changes or content gaps because they see it as a relationship. Paid growth is a one-night stand. That's how you got to think of it, right? Organic content is like a relationship, and paid content and paid promos is like a one-night stand. Organic growth is built over time. So this is what real stability looks like. A TikTok you posted months ago is still bringing in 5 subs a week. Your YouTube try and haul keeps ranking and generating traffic without you lifting a finger. Your Instagram stories build daily intimacy with your followers, making your audience stickier over time and most likely to stay. So organic growth creates higher ROI and lower risk. So let's break this down with some numbers, right? So paid promos, we all know paid promos aren't cheap. They're $200 to $300 or even $500 a shout out isn't uncommon. And for that, you might get 50 to 100 subs, half of whom will cancel in less than a month, right? Less than a month. So even if you break, let's say you break even, you're not building anything sustainable, which is the main problem, right? But with organic content, on the other hand, costs nothing but your creativity and consistency process. So a TikTok that hits 500K views can bring you 50 subs at $15 each. $750 in monthly recurring revenue just from one video, which is insane, right? A YouTube try on haul can rank in search and generate passive subs for years. Going live a few times a week can generate new loyal subscribers every session. Unlike paid traffic, right? These fans stick. They convert better, they stay longer and spend more. That is a compounding asset, not a one-time gamble. So you got the factors here, right? The cost, the paid promos, $100 to $500 plus per shout out. Then you got organic growth, $0, only your content and time. Quality of fans, right? So with the paid promos, you've got cold, impulsive fans. But with organic growth, you've got warm, emotionally invested subs. And then reach is, with paid promos, are always temporary. But with organic growth, they're always going to be evergreen. The risk as well that comes with this, with paid promos, is high flops, scams, and high churn. With organic growth, there's none of that. It's always so low. With the ROI, with paid promos, it's unpredictable because it's like gambling, right? But with organic growth, it's compounding and scalable. With disability, again, it's unreliable because you're gambling, you just don't know. But with organic growth, it's owned and it's sustainable. So I'm going to be telling you why parasocial bonds are your secret weapon. Because let's be honest, right? People don't pay for OnlyFans just for explicit content. That's available everywhere for free, right? Like Pornhub, for example. So what they're actually buying is you, your attention, your personality, and the illusion of closeness, like a relationship, for example, right? Parasocial bonds are where someone feels connected to a creator without real two-way interaction. And that is incredibly powerful in adult content. And how to build this is, for example, doing lives, stories, vlogs, and behind the scenes clips that are intimate formats that give the fans the feeling of being part of your world, right? They hear your voice, they get glimpses of your day, and they learn your sense of humor. To their brain, it feels like they know you, right? And like we talked about earlier, this activates oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and reinforces dopamine anticipation. It turns a fan from a casual viewer into someone who actually cares. When they spend, it's no longer a cold transaction. It feels like they're actually supporting someone they're emotionally attached to, and that is so important. For example, right, a fan who watches your TikTok lives 3 times a week may have never spoken to you directly, but in their mind, you're literally part of their routine. I can't stress enough, you're literally part of their routine and day to day, right? So when you drop a $50 pay-per-view, they don't weigh in the cost. They're not even thinking about how much it costs, right? Because it feels like treating a friend. These are the fans who tip, stay for years, and become your financial backbone. And that's why parasocial bonds are your secret weapon if you use it correctly. We signed a creator 30 days ago, right? We signed a creator a month ago. She was doing no organic content and she was really stuck. So this was her profile views before our organic machine, right? There you go, you got 61K views, interactions only 377, new followers 77, and then, yeah, right? But with our content machine, 30 days later, 1.1 million views, interactions 7.2K, new followers 1,000. As you can see, 61K views in the last 30 days. 30 days with us using our content machine, and she's already on 1 million views. And this is why it's so powerful and so underestimated, the power of organic content. You always should do organic content and never do paid promos or shout outs. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So the final thoughts, right? The long games always win. The long game always wins. And this is a problem with some creators, not all creators, but some creators. Some creators are just not long-term minded. They're just not. They're just not. Like, not everyone's long-term minded. And to be honest, not everyone is made to do OnlyFans. Like, it is a business at the end of the day. And it is hard. Like, it can be really hard. So you just have to have that long-term mindset and to just literally just stay consistent. As long as you stay consistent and you have that long-term mindset locked in, there's no breaking that. There's no breaking that. You're going to be successful. And that's some of the problems with this, right? Is this why some models, they don't want to wait, right? They see the shiny things and they're like, right, want this straight away and I want to scale straight away. But organic growth isn't just about fast spikes. It's about building assets, content community, trust, and connection with people that compound and feed your business for years. It literally creates warm leads that convert better and stick for longer, real trust through repeated exposure, high value fans who spend more over their lifetime, content that compounds instead of expiring overnight, strong parasocial bonds that make fans emotionally loyal, lower costs with far higher ROI, stability you can control. So I want you to, if there's anything you can take away from this video, is that paid promos can give you a sugar high. Organic growth builds wealth. Don't ever chase quick dopamine. Build something unshakable. And that is it for today's video. Hope you guys hope this video brought value to you. As always, I'm always here to help. If you guys got any questions, feel free to put in the comments below. I read every single comment. And yeah, go check out my Instagram at BAMPsOFM. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.